I have written my last will and testament and have finalized it 3 years ago. When most people know it, the first question they would came to ask me would be why you write my will. They ask so because they assume a will is to be written when the individual was getting older or about to die. In fact, I wrote my will not believing it. I believed in everybody above 15 years old are entitled and have the responsibility to write their will. Because we don't know when we'll die, and the process of writing a will is not just for your financial possessions, but what kind of spiritual legacy, what kind of intellectual legacy you leave to the world. Oftentimes, there is this final test of your life purpose. People say, "Oh, imagine if it's your funeral, and what would you like people to say at that time?" Then think back and say, "This is the purpose of my life, so I will live so this way, so on and so forth." So this is a very popular self-help quiz. Then my challenge for that scenario would be, why don't I speak something for myself in that situation? So, in that light, will is also a way you express yourself after you die. Not only have other people to comment on your life and you, but also that you have a word to say about your values, how you have lived. Most often, our self reflection matters a lot more than how other people look at me. Not to say that other people's perception are not important, but our own narrative shape how we look at our lives. So the second reason of writing a will early on in your life is to find your life purpose based on your own narrative, to find yourself a compass. The third benefit of writing a will early in life is actually what I found out after I finished the process of writing the first version of my formal will, which is you exercise a lot of will and exercise a lot of freedom in deciding what to do uh, after you die. Not just the burial details, but also how would you like your possessions to be divided? Where would you like your book to go? It's a very responsible way to eliminate workload um, for other people, especially those small details, to think about it for yourself. But also, this process helped me to realize how much freedom, how much of a say I would have about these affairs, which is almost uncomparable in my life. I cannot find any other thing in my life that I have such a freedom and a power to fully say what it's gonna be. So I actually wrote the full program of my funeral with as an option for people to use. So if they want to use it, they don't need to work on it. And from the music I would like to share and from the prayers I'd like people to read, it actually shows a strong attachment from myself. So that's the three benefits of writing a will. Then after you decide, okay, I'm going to write my will and how to start, actually it's not as daunting as you thought. The first year I started thinking about writing a will was 2008. At that time, I only wrote literally 2 to 3 lines on my computer and I saved it and nobody know it's there. And the next year I developed it to maybe 5 lines. And the next year I put it on paper. So it's a half page paper. And the fourth year I developed it to a 1 page paper. And the fifth year I developed it to several pages. I sit down with a lawyer to discuss it. And the sixth year I finalized it. So every year, if I move, if I have situation changes, I update my will. Of course, benefiting from clarifying my values, understanding my compass of life and the purpose of life, as well as help me to be grounded, to understand a cohesive vision of life and what am I doing in life that contribute to that goal, including material pursuit and spiritual pursuit. So that is my process. One of my friends actually had a daughter becoming 15, and they invited me to share my will with the whole family. So the whole family sit down, they all have their own will, grandparents, parents, and I'm sharing my will with this 15 years old, and she's drafting her own will. In fact, when I started writing my will in a more formalized way, I didn't have any positive net worth. I was having student loan, I was having debt. Overall, my financial situation is negative. But in that situation, it's the same. It helped me to be grounded. And over the years, after I'm gaining more money, the nature, the essence of my will never changed. So this is how I have benefited and developed my will. I hope you can find something valuable from this sharing, and maybe the process of writing a will be a powerful thing to reflect. Maybe the process of finding witness and executor create opportunities for you to reflect on important relationships in your life and share with those friends or family members about your reflection on life and position in life. Maybe it help you to reveal some illusions in your life or some new dreams that you were not aware of. So in whatever way, what's your opinion on writing a will? What have you gained through the process? Please comment below, and I'll see you next time.